Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Virginia Beach Sportsplex. Today's games are brought to you by John's Tax Service. In store for today's games, we have the number 1 Princess Anne Panthers going up against the number 4 Lynn Haven Bluefish for middle school soccer. We just had the opening lineups announced and had the playing of our national anthem. We look to get started very shortly, and it looks like the Princess Anne Panthers are going to start off with the ball first. As we see, the Trojans of Plaza have taken over possession after the kickoff. As the ball goes out of play, the Panthers throw it back in, but it looks to be recovered by the Trojans. We're just getting started here and still have about 29 minutes left in the first half. As you can see, the players are still getting into it, as going to have a couple of mistakes in the beginning of the game, as of always, but have to think the players will settle in after the first couple of minutes. If you haven't been out to the Virginia Beach Sportsplex recently, we just reopened the main level of seating after doing a little bit of construction, put up new railings and stuff, so be sure to come out and see what has changed. If you didn't already know, we have the girls soccer for middle school playoffs tomorrow, starting at the same time as the boys did here today, so be sure to come out and support. But if you can't, remember that we do have the live stream going on the Virginia Beach Sportsplex as well. On the Beach Sportsplex website, all you have to do is click the streaming tab and bring you right back here. As we have seen so far, the teams have changed possession quite a few times, and it looks to be pretty even. As you see, Princess Anne just kicked it to the other side of the field, trying to gain possession for the first time today on that side. As you see, the Trojans throw it back in. Gets headed off by a player, kicked by one player, and then kicked right back out of bounds once again. As you can see, the Panthers have been kicking it out of bounds more than the Trojans have so far, just giving them the better field position. Well, we have a little bit of time before the ball gets brought back into play, or as it just gets put back into play. We'd like to remind everybody that today's games are brought to us by John's Tax Service. John's Tax Service is a proud community supporter of local youth sports, and they're happy to support the sports and the athletes taking part today. So a big shout out to them. So we just saw the ball went out of play near the goal by the Trojans, so the Panthers look to gain possession and push it back down the other side of the field. As we see right now, the players kicks it back into play, makes it all the way down almost to middle of the field, but is stopped by the Trojans, who look to go down the sideline. Number 1 for the Trojans look to have a good corner opportunity there. That was Josiah Roberts. Unfortunately, did not mount to anything as his teammates hadn't gotten down to the field yet, or down toward the goal. So we see the Panthers are having a hard time keeping possession of it. Getting it down toward the middle of the field, maybe a little bit over the other side of it, but haven't been able to do much since. Ball goes out, courtesy of a Trojan player, number 3, just Jonathan Tompkins. As you see, Princess Anne is having their first attack of the game, making it almost down to where they could have had a good corner shot, but the ball is eventually kicked out by a defender, but was hit off a Princess Anne player, so it is Plaza ball. Oh, Plaza player taken down near the middle of the field, but no flags were risen, so we will play on. Or no cards were risen. As we see, Princess Anne has a pretty good attack going. Kicks a corner shot, but goes a little bit too far in front of his teammate, so it goes by him and the defender. Number 10 for Princess Anne, Vincent Gagione, just put it back into play to his teammate. Looked to have a good attack going. To kick it back out to see if they can get anything better. Ball kicked by a Trojan to his teammate, number 3, near the sideline. Jukes one defender, but eventually gets the ball kicking out by a Panther. That was Johan Tompkins, who saw his second action of today's game. Johan's also going to be throwing it in right here. So we'll see. Actually, never mind. Looks like he's going to give it off to his teammate, number 10, Nico Cameron, to throw it in. Nico still dribbling around his defender and making his way, kicking it to a teammate who gets it intercepted. The ball's kicked down the field and then hit by one of his teammates to get it all the way down to a corner shot for PA. Number 10 with the corner right now. Jukes around a defender. Tries to kick it in, but is blocked by a Trojan. Luckily, though, that blocked shot was not hit too far to where a Panther recovered and then tried kicking it in for a goal, but it was saved as it just went right to the goalie. Didn't have much trouble stopping it. Number 4 for Prince Anne. Trying to get the ball back for number 3 from the Trojans. So you have to think these teams, even though they're seeded 1 and 4, are looking to be pretty even throughout the first 10 minutes of today's game. As Princess Anne has gotten it down to the area where they might kick in another corner. So they've opted for the corner, look to just pass it toward the middle. It is eventually taken by a Trojans player who kicks it down the field, but it rolls out of bounds before number 3 can get there. Number 3, Johan Tompkins, just slipped a little bit right before the bench. Since he didn't get to it, though, we're going to have number 10 for Princess Anne throwing it back into play for us. Number 4 for Plaza looks to kick it toward the middle of the field where he had a couple teammates, but it is sadly kicked right to a Princess Anne player, so not much going on there. And the ball is eventually kicked out of bounds by number 10 for Princess Anne, Vincent Gagione. Sorry, I'm not really sure how to pronounce his name. We'll figure it out shortly, though, for you. Number 20, Princess Anne, dribbling down the field. Gets by 2 defenders. Kicks it forward across the field to his teammate, who eventually gets it taken. Ball going up in the air a lot right now. Neither team can really seem to keep it on the ground. Not that you have to, though, because in soccer you can definitely kick it in the air as much as you want. As you see, Prince Plaza was able to take back possession and looks to have a fast break going. Princess Anne players eventually tripped, and because of him sliding, he kicks it out of bounds. That's all right, though. Looks to get up and be just fine. Nice try on the ball there. Stops the attack for now. And number 3 for Princess Anne knocks down number 3 for Plaza knocks down a Panther right there. Gets the whistle blown and gives it back to Princess Anne. As you can see, the ball goes out of play. Well, we got a little bit of time. Jim Beach Sportsplex would like to thank AstroTurf, which is the turf the players are playing on here today. Since 1965, the AstroTurf brand has been driven by forward thinking. Today, AstroTurf continually improves its system design to deliver playing surfaces with the most realistic, sport-specific performance, longest-lasting durability, and sound player protection. That is AstroTurf. Be sure to check them out if you're in the market for some turf. As we can see, Princess Anne has made it down to the box area. Eventually gets stopped by a Trojan, but they look to keep possession. Number 10 gets the ball past him a little bit, but good news, just kicks it back to one of his teammates that's on the other side of the field to reset. Ball kicked all the way down the field by a Trojan, eventually stopped by the Princess Anne Panthers goalie, who kicks it back into play. Probably would have liked to get a little bit more on that, but either way, it does the trick and gets it back to the other side of the field. Number 12 puts a little juke on his defender there and is able to get by one, but it is eventually stopped by the Trojans. Ball kicked out of play by what we believe to be number 9, which was Thomas Love for Princess Anne. Number 10 for Plaza throws it back in. Nico Cameron again. Ball in possession of the Trojans at the moment. If you're now just joining us, we're still at a score of 0-0 between the Princess Anne Panthers and Plaza Trojans. Both defenses for the team have held up pretty well so far, as we haven't had many good shots on the goal. As we see, the Panthers play it down the field. Look to kick in a corner after juking out a teammate. See if he gets that cross off. Cross gets off, but there was only 2 of his teammates and 4 defenders, so as you can imagine, the defenders were easily able to stop it. Ball kicked all the way down by the 50-yard line to one of his teammates, but it is currently stopped. Still has good possession going on. Eventually kicks the ball out of play behind the goalie, so which will have a reset coming up for the Trojans. See, as he kicks it back into play. Doesn't touch many people, but it eventually is ricocheted off of a Panther, which will give Plaza the possession back. As this back and forth game continues for these two teams, would also like to thank Atlantic Bay Mortgage Group. Lending peace of mind, they're not your typical mortgage company. They understand getting a mortgage can be stressful, but they're here to help and guide you every step of the way. They're dedicated to providing you an enjoyable journey from start to finish. That is Atlantic Bay Mortgage Group. You see a scruff going on between the players. Prince Zan trying to get a shot off, but it is blocked by one of his defenders right around the box area. As we can see, the Trojans look to go on attack here and get the ball all the way down the field. Maybe hitting a good fast break opportunity, but it eventually does roll out of play. So the Panthers will be throwing the ball in near the right corner of the field. Ball is blocked by a Panther near middle of the field and taken down by number 10, who is trying to juke one of his players right now. Eventually nutmegs him, but it is stopped. And number 3 for the Trojans just looked to take it down the field, but was unsuccessful as he was stopped as well. Ball kicked beautifully in between two defenders. Looked like Princess Anne might have had a little bit of a chance there, but the ball eventually does get kicked and rolls out of play. As we see number 10, Vincent Gionion, throws the ball back into play, but it is eventually kicked out of bounds by a defender, which looks like we are going to have a corner coming up here, the first of the game for either team. Panthers look to have the corner on the left side of the field. Player kicks it in the middle. Has a teammate open. Gets it to him. Teammate just kicks it over the goal on the right side. So close. But it does roll out of play, which gives it back to the Trojans. Looks like he had a really good opportunity there. No defenders in front of him. Corner placed perfectly. Have to think they'll get another opportunity at some point in this game. Number 4 has the ball. Tries to pass it one of his defenders, but tries to pass it one of his teammates, but is stopped by a defender. One of the players tries to kick it to his teammate, but is stopped. PA regains control, kicks it to their goalie to eventually kick it down the field. The goalie didn't get much on it, though, as it rolls out of bounds, which gives the Trojans the possession. Still on the wrong side of the field, if you're a PA fan, of course. And as we see a Panther go down right there. So scuffling between him and number 4 of Plaza. Whistle is eventually blown. Ball looks to be set back in place. As we see, Plaza has a little bit of an attack going on. Player tries to kick it all the way from the 40. Had good amount of power on it, but it is eventually right to the goalie. So goalie didn't have much trouble on stopping that one. So he kicks it back into play, which is taken over by PA and looking to go on the attack themselves. And the ball almost looks to go out of bounds, but the Trojan was able to juke his defender and kick it down to the other side of the field near his teammate, but the ball does eventually roll out of play. Not sure if anybody noticed it, but that ball did roll between one of our gate openings, so it is off of the turf right now. I have to think somebody's going to go get it, but until then, they use the second ball, and we play on. Number 3 for Plaza. Johan Tompkins takes down a Panther right there, but is not blown for a penalty. And you see the ball about to go out of play, but number 10 for PA is able to keep it in and try to get down the field. Gets tripped up by a couple defenders, so he doesn't get it off. But the ball is later booted by one of his teammates. Still got about 9 minutes left here in the first quarter. Saying looking to go on attack here. Has a little bit of momentum going. Able to juke a defender by kicking it up in the air, but is eventually stopped. Looks like number 3 for Partizan just got the ball kicked through his legs, wasn't able to stop the attack. So they play on. Ball kicked to the middle of the field, headed by a Partizan player. Number 4 for Partizan, Cale Perry right there. Able to gain possession and try to kick it, but is eventually stopped by a defender. Nice juke, nice couple of jukes right there by a Partizan player. Kicks it by a defender and to his teammate, who looks to kick it in for a corner. Corner just a little short there. Wasn't able to make it to one of his teammates. And we see Plaza was able to take back possession and have a little bit of something going on, but is eventually stopped really quick by the Panthers, who look to go on attack again. Able to juke a player. Oh, had a great look on it. Had a little bit of a curve, but the curve went the wrong way and curved right back to the goalie. Just having to think he would have liked to shoot that a little bit more toward the outside and had it go by him. That was Cale Perry, number 4. Well, we got a little break in the action. Well, we could play on, but as the ball just goes out of bounds behind the goalie. As we look to have a player down on the field right in front of his goal for the Plaza Trojans. Looks to be number 1, Josiah Roberts. Hopefully he's okay. Well, we got a little break in the action, though, with about 6 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. The Virginia Beach Sportsplex would also like to thank Vault Athletics and Fitness. The Vault Fitness facility in Hampton Roads' newest 13,000 square feet facility is located in the Hilltop section of Virginia Beach. They specialize in youth athlete development, personal training, small group training, and specialty fitness classes. That is Vault Athletics and Fitness. Well, it looks like they're going to give the player a little bit of time to stretch and recover from that hard hit he took. As the trainers jog off the field, I'd like to also thank Zoop Eatery. At Zoop Eatery, you can build the perfect box lunch, a customizable and individually packaged meal for your convenience. Choose from any of their wide variety of soups, fresh salads, made-to-order sandwiches. They're all served with the hunk of bread and dessert. There's something for the whole crew at Zoop Eatery. There's Zoop Eatery over here, right near the Sportsplex at the Lansdowne Commons, so be sure to stop in and check them out. You see number 1, Josiah Roberts, looked to be okay after taking that hard hit near the goal we had a minute or two ago. He's able to stay in the game as we play on with about 5 minutes remaining. Still at a score of 0-0 in this half between the Princess Anne Panthers and the Plaza Trojans. The Princess Anne player right there can get possession, which he eventually did, but he was a little too far to the right of the goal. Still took a good attempt on it, but kicked it way over the goal. Wasn't much work for the goalie, as you can probably assume. While somebody goes to fetch that ball to win over the fence, goalie grabs another ball that was behind his goal, and we play on. As you see Josiah Roberts take that ball and stop in and pass it to a teammate. Plaza looks to be going on the attack here, but the ball does roll out of play. I'd like to give a special thanks to my co-intern, Josh, for getting that ball from out behind the goal. Looks like Plaza looks to have a little bit of possession here going. To sort things out to see if they can make it anywhere closer to the goal. They haven't had many opportunities so far in this first half. As we see a player boot it down to an opponent. Down the middle of the field. Doesn't really stop them. And number 4 by Plaza is taken down. Maximus Ramirez Huezo taken down, and the whistle is blown around the 30-yard line. While they set the ball, we'd also like to thank Chicho's Pizza here at the Virginia Beach Sportsplex, a proud sponsor. They're a Beach institution since 1968. Chicho's Pizza has been serving the best pie around for over 50 years. From the single founding location to now 8 locations around the area. Stop in or order online to find out why they're Hampton Road's favorite. Chicho's, more than pizza. See ball placed around the 26 for this penalty kick. Outside of a free kick. Shot about the 26-yard line. It is eventually stopped as it didn't have much on it. Number 1 for the Trojans, Josiah Roberts, as we've already mentioned today. Kicks it out of bounds after he did have a good free kick there, but it was stopped on the right side by the goalie. I have to think you would have liked to have a little bit more on that, maybe a little bit of curve or something. Either way. Princess Anne looks to take a shot at the goal from the 25. That was what I believe to be number 12, Trip Devera. Kicks the ball out of play behind the goal on the right side. Wow. Roberts kicks it to a teammate. Tries to get it back to the other side of the field. We'd also like to thank One Life Fitness. One life, one inspired life. They're here to help. Start your new membership today at any one of their 8 convenient Hampton Roads locations. Or you can go online at onelifefitness.com and claim a free trial pass. That is One Life Fitness. Number 4 keeps it inbound for PA. Gets to one of his teammates after nutmegging a player. That was number 12 right there, Trip Devera, who, for Princess Anne, who was able to juke a couple of defenders, but eventually is kicked in the ankles by a defender and is stopped as the ball goes out of play. Still PA ball, though. Ball looked to go a little bit out of bounds, but the line judge did not call it, so we play on.
Official time kept on the field at this time. Official time kept on the field.
We have 1 minute remaining here in the first half of today's game. Coming to you from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex on the Beach Sportsplex website. If you can't come out in person to future games, remember that playoff games are here, and they will not be stopped due to you, but you can always check them out on our website if you can't make it in person, because they are always streamed live. All you have to do is go to beachsportsplex.com, click the streaming tab, and then click on the link below. It'll bring you right back here. With under a minute remaining here, Trojans look to go on attack one more time to see if they can get their first good shot off, but we will have to wait to see if that happens as it is kicked out of bounds. Well, we got a little bit of time here left in this first half. I'd like to remind everybody to join us tomorrow for the girls' middle school playoff games. They'll be right back here at the Sportsplex and streamed live at the Beach Sportsplex website. That is beachsportsplex.com. As Princess Anne gets it out of their territory, the ball rolls out of play, and that looks to be the first half, or the end of our first half here, between the Princess Anne Panthers and the Plaza Trojans. We end the first half at a score of 0-0 as the game was played pretty evenly. Nobody really gained that much momentum. Princess Anne had one corner shot, but that is all. We will be right back here with you once the second half begins.
For more than 23 years, we've made it our mission to lend peace of mind.
Even when times aren't very peaceful.
We know that every borrower is unique.
That's why we put you first in every step of the loan process.
At Atlantic Bay, we are dedicated, now more than ever,
to providing digital tools, resources, and a lending hand.
To help you reach your home dreams.
Because we're here for you.
Whenever,
Wherever,
however.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to begin the second half from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex in this matchup for middle school soccer playoffs between the Princess Anne Panthers and the Plaza Trojans. Through the first half, we had some pretty even competition. Ended at a score of 0-0. Princess Anne had the best opportunity, had one corner kick in the first half. Didn't result in anything though. Princess Anne had possession first. Princess Anne kicked off to begin our game, so it looks like Plaza is going to kick off here to begin the second half. As I say, the two players had the most possession throughout the first half were number 12, Trip DeVera for the Panthers, and number 1, Josiah Roberts for Plaza. As we can hear from the teammates, number one thing is to be smart while playing this game. All know it's about strategy and about being accurate with your kicks and being able to pass it efficiently. As we can see, it looks like it's going to be another back and forth battle between these two teams here in the second half. Ball kicked all the way down the field to the goalie by Plaza. Stopped by the Princess Anne Panthers goalie and thrown back into play to one of his teammates. A little bit of a risky throw, as you can see the defender right there almost had it. As we see the ball roll out of play. I'd like to remind everybody to make sure you come out and support here at Virginia Beach Sportsplex as the playoffs are just beginning for the middle school soccer. We have the girls' games tomorrow, starting at 5:30. Should be sure to come out and support. But if you can't make it, as you already know, or maybe you didn't know, you can always catch the games being live streamed right here where you are today on the Beach Sportsplex website. All you have to do is go to beachsportsplex.com, click streaming, and then click on the link below and bring you right back here. So be sure to not miss any of the action. As we can see, the ball goes out of play right between the two benches. Throughout the first couple minutes, Plaza looked to have most of the possession and looked to almost have a drive going, but was shortly ended, and now it looks like Princess Anne's going to have their own chance as well early in this half. So what we're seeing right here around the 15-yard line, just back and forth between the two teams, like we saw in the first half. Ball played to his teammate and eventually kicked off the head of a defender. Ball eventually kicked up in the air and goes out of play over the goal. Ball set down for his teammate. Ball eventually headed. Ball goes out of play right around the referee. Looks to be Princess Anne ball. Ooh. Number 3 for Princess Anne gets taken down there. Oh, would have been a perfect opportunity for Princess Anne. But the teammate wasn't there at the exact moment, so it's a little bit late. It's all right though. He still had a shot on it, but wasn't much of a shot as it went right to the goalie. Still looking to have another good chance here. If it's King, almost had the Princess Anne player get to it, which would have been his best opportunity of today's game. A little late and was kicked out by the goalie, so we will have a corner kick coming up. While we get ready for that corner kick, we'd like to thank John's Tax Service, providing tax preparation and retirement planning services. John's Tax Service and JPM Financial Services have been serving all of Hampton Roads for over 20 years. They're the best thanks to you, John's Tax Service. Corner kick comes into play. Looked to make it to a Princess Anne player, but didn't have anything on it, so Plaza was easily able to kick it out. Another kick on the goal for Princess Anne. Not much on that one either. Easily stopped by the goalie again. As you see, Plaza had a little bit of momentum on their side right there. Looked to have a fast break opportunity. Didn't mount to anything. Easily taken back by Princess Anne, who looks to have a fast break of their own. Stop and gathering right here. Number 21 for Princess Anne. Number 4 for Princess Anne, Kale Perry on that kick right there. Kicks a little bit out to the left of the goal. Ball eventually rolls out of play. As you see, ball go out of play. Princess Anne has had possession for most of this second half here. Really close to having a corner kick, but looks like since it was kicked a little bit left of the flag, we are going to have a throw-in. To maybe have a little bit of a corner opportunity right there. Or a as we can see, both teams are still trying to get handle on the ball as it's going back and forth and in and out of play. Hasn't mounted anything for anybody. Ball almost headed by a Plaza player, but it does get over his head and gets hit by a Princess Anne player, but he eventually gets it. He's able to kick it forward to one of his teammates who eventually is stopped. And we look to have a player down for Princess Anne. Looks to get right back up though, so nothing too serious as the ball gets brought back into play. Would also like to thank CHKD Sports Medicine. Whether your child is competing as part of a football team, likes to ride a bike, or is on the road to Olympic glory, the multidisciplinary team at the CHKD Sports Medicine program is dedicated to the comprehensive treatment of illness and injury in pediatric and college athletes. That is CHKD Sports Medicine. Now just joining us, still at a score of 0-0 with about 21 minutes left in this game. Have to think at some point, gonna have players starting to press a little bit, trying to gain a little bit more of the ball and trying to see if they can have anything happen. Neither team has had a great opportunity so far. Haven't really been able to spread out across the field. As we can see, the back line for Princess Anne holding up pretty good so far. Looks like Plaza might have had a little bit of an opportunity there, but it is blown for a whistle, which means we are going to have a kick by the Panthers. Kick goes pretty far, but a whistle is blown for offsides before player can get to it. Nope, never mind. That was not offsides. Looks like the whistle was blown before he actually kicked it, so we are going to have another re-kick. Decides to not kick it as far this time, just to his teammate number 4, Caleb Perry, to the right of the field. If you've joined us through most of this game, as you can see, we've had a lot of clearances from both teams. Just trying to get it onto the side of the field they want it on, so they can hopefully have a fast break opportunity. While the ball is set at the middle of the field and played by one of the Princess Anne defenders. Have a little bit of time here as this kick goes toward the goal, but eventually is off to the right by number 12 for Princess Anne, Trip De Vera. As we see Plaza kick it back into play, I'd also like to thank Shine Time Power Wash and Paint Professionals. Revitalize your property today. Shine Time is your turnkey solution for all power washing and painting projects. With years of experience in both residential and large-scale commercial settings, their focus is to bring new life to your home, building, or outdoor space and ensure 100% customer satisfaction every time. That is Shine Time Power Wash and Paint Professionals. As we all know, summer has come and gone, and we are into our fall season, about to hit winter. So if you're still have a couple projects to do at home, which include power washing, and you don't have any time to get it done, though, before winter hits, you can always check out Shine Time Power Wash and Paint Professionals, and they'll help you out with that. As we can see right here, number 3, Ethan Pimas kicks a corner kick in for PA. Wasn't able to hit one of his teammates as the defender was able to head it to their goalie. Another shot on the goal by Princess Anne, about the 25-yard line, goes over the goal. And you can see Princess Anne has a good opportunity right here. Kicks it to one of his teammates. Looks to have a teammate right behind him. Teammate doesn't take the shot, though, as it passes it to the outside. Place it up right here really well, back and forth. Jukes one of his defenders. Looked to almost have an opportunity, but it was cleared by a defender. Princess Anne still looks to have a little rhythm here going for them. Able to keep possession for most of the half. Ball is kicked and bounces to the goalie, who doesn't have a hard time stopping it. Number 3, Johan Tompkins right there. Able to head it to himself and get by a defender. Ball eventually rolls out of play. As we still have 16 minutes left in this scoreless game. Ball placed over defender. Looks to give Princess Anne another fast break opportunity. Smart decision by the Trojan right there. Kicks it out of bounds so his defense can get set. Didn't want to give up a good opportunity. Didn't want to give the other team a good opportunity. Ball goes out of play to the left of the corner, so we will have another throw in. Panther right there trying to gain possession, trying to dribble it to himself, but he accidentally kicks it out of bounds. Number 3 for Princess Anne, Ethan Simmons, brings it back into Trojan territory. Still has possession of the ball, kicks it to Caleb Perry right next to him. Caleb dribbles past his defenders. It was a good opportunity for his teammate right there. Teammate kicks it a little bit to the left of the goal, goes out of play. And we look to have another reset coming up for the Trojans. Before that reset happens, we would also like to thank Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Eat better, feel better. They're bursting with fresh flavors. They offer grab-and-go catering and box lunches. Tropical Smoothie Cafe on Princess Anne Road, right across the street from TCC's Virginia Beach campus. As we can see, we're getting down to under 14 minutes left in this game. Crowd's getting a little bit louder knowing this crunch time. Trying to motivate their team. Number 10 throws it into play for the Trojans. If you didn't know, Princess Anne is ranked number 1 in this playoffs, and Plaza is ranked number 4. Winner advances on to the championship. As the ball gets kicked over, the goal by number 10, Vincent Gioni. Just like to remind everybody, we do have another game coming up after this one. The game will be between number 2, the Lynn Haven Bluefish, against number 3, the Great Neck Stingrays. Winner of that matchup will play in the championship against the winner of this one. That game is coming to you at 7:30 from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex, being streamed on the Beach Sportsplex website, just like this one. As we can see, the back and forth battle between these two teams goes as number 1, Josiah Roberts, hits the ground, looks to be injured, a little shaken up. Josiah looks to actually be hurt pretty bad here as we see the referee calling on the trainer. As we see the trainer running across the field to get to him. Hope he's okay. Until then, we are going to go to commercial break, and we'll be right back here with you once play resumes. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Coming back from the injury break, Josiah Gray, number 1 for Plaza, was able to walk off the field on his own. Looks to be accompanied by the trainer. I think that is a pretty big loss for the Trojans, as Josiah Roberts has had plenty of possession for the Trojans. Had a couple good crosses for him. As we saw, about 3 or 4 minutes taken off the clock there due to that injury. You have to think they'll be added on after the half ends. We still have a little bit under 10 minutes remaining. Still sit at the 0-0 score. As you see, a Princess Anne player get tripped up, taken down. Ball kicked into play. Crossed over to one of his teammates, but goes over his head and rolls out of play. Which means it will be Trojan ball. While we get that ball brought back into play again. Virginia Beach Sportsplex would also like to thank Why Not Italian. Celebrating over 28 years in Hampton Roads, their commitment to excellent ingredients, traditional recipes, and treating their customers like family is what has allowed them to serve delicious food to our community since 1993. You can dine in with them at any one of their 7 locations, including their newest Haygood location on Independence Boulevard. Still looking for some dinner tonight? Why Not Italian? Ball kicked to one of his teammates. Looked to have a great opportunity there. Was hit kicked a little too hard. So it dribbles by him, but he is able to catch up to it. And there's our first goal. Princess Anne hits the goal. Ball kicked all about the 20-yard line to the right side of the net. Goes over the goalie and in. That gives us our first lead here, as we made it almost through about, say, 50 minutes of scoreless soccer. As we just saw, the Panthers were able to score the first goal of today's game. Almost down to the other side of the field. Panthers player kicks it really hard. Gets ricocheted off of a Trojan player who takes it right to his head. Looked to be a little shaken up on that play, but he looks to be okay. That was number 5 for the Trojans, Van Helgren. Hopefully he doesn't have a concussion after that ball was kicked very hard. And it doesn't scare him at all as he gets right back up there to try to head the next one. Luckily for him, though, it doesn't hit him. Sand looking to have a fast break opportunity here after gaining possession. Ball is stopped by number 7 for the Trojans, Nathan Freiling. Kicks it out of play. That doesn't last long, though, as Princess Anne was easily able to bring it back in. And they look to have a little something going here. Setting up their next try at another goal. Have to think if they're able to get another goal here, that would probably be enough to give them the win. As the ball is kicked toward the goal, nothing on it though, so goalie grabs it way before it gets into his nets and kicks it down the field. Well, we got about 5 minutes remaining in this game. I'd also like to thank Dairy Queen. Every day is sweet when they're serving you Blizzard treats like M&M's, cookie dough, Reese's, and Oreo fudge brownie. Thanks for being our fans for all these years, And here's to many more. Dairy Queen Lansdowne. Fan food, not fast food. Coming out to one of our games and player plays really well. Want to give them a treat. There's a Dairy Queen right over here near the Sportsplex. If you come out and grab a coupon, it's a buy a Blizzard, get a free one that's the same size or smaller. So be sure to come out and grab some coupons today. Also have some from Muya, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, Chicho's, and many more. Also like to remind everybody, as we see Princess Anne get it down to the other side and eventually kicked out of bounds, that if you go to the Beach Sportsplex website, don't forget to sign up for our monthly newsletter. Written by yours truly. Number 3 throws it back into play for the Panthers. As you see the crowd getting pretty loud right there. Look to have a good opportunity for Plaza, their first of the game. Looking like they were going to be able to have a fast break corner shot, but does get stopped and kicked away by a Panther. After the whistle blows, Panthers are going to reset the ball, take a minute to catch their breath after having a little scare. 3 minutes remaining. No, they wish that would have never happened as they were cruising to that win, but they still got to make it through the last couple minutes. Have to think, though, after that injury timeout that happened around the 14-minute mark, have to think there'll be a couple minutes added on after the time expires. Josiah Gray, number 1, who got injured, still on the sideline for Plaza. As it looks like they are going to have, Princess Anne's going to have possession of the ball for a kick coming up around the 20-yard line. And as you see, we are going to have a direct kick coming up for the Panthers, who hits it in a little bit over number 1 of the Panthers, who was right there near the goalie. That ball would have bounced just a little bit lower. It looked like he would have had a great chance to head it in. With 2 minutes remaining in this game, I have to think the Trojans are going to go a little bit faster here as they know they don't have much time left. As I actually just saw, Josiah Gray is back into the game. Looks like he was actually subbed back in at some point. Or Josiah Roberts, sorry about that, not Josiah Gray. Can't tell, Plaza's still having trouble getting the momentum to go on their side as Princess Anne still looks to have it going.
Official time is kept on the field.
And as we hit 1 minute remaining, we are going to have the time kept by the officials on the field now. As we hear the crowds getting louder every second, knowing that this game is coming to an end soon. As you see, both teams are still battling. I have to think, even though they're up 1-0, Princess Anne would definitely like to score another goal before the game ends. Just a reminder, we do have our second game coming up at 7:30 from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex. Be between Lynn Haven and Great Neck Middle School. Those are the 2 and 3 seeds in this year's playoffs. The winner of this game will play the winner of that one in the championship. And we also do have the women's middle school soccer coming up as well tomorrow, starting at the same time. Also being streamed live on the Virginia Beach Sportsplex website. If you didn't know, Princess Anne is ranked number 1 for boys and girls this year for the playoffs. As we can see, it looks like Plaza's going to take their last attempt on this one, as we can't imagine there being too much time left in the game. That's why you hear the crowd getting really loud. Ball is cleared by the Panthers. Rolls out of bounds about 30 yards down the field. Hitting crunch time, balls goes out of play, but stays in possession of the Trojans. Coach picks up the ball for his teammate, trying to hurry him up. Still going back and forth between both teams. As we can see, the Panthers have most of their players down defending their goal, as they know all they have to do is make sure they don't give up one, and they'll be the winners. Ball rolls out of play, which means the offense for the Panthers will come down the field, or the players will. Have to think, even though they'd like to goal, that they'd probably rather just keep possession if they can. And the ball rolls out of play, and there are the whistles. With that, Princess Anne moves on after beating the Plaza Trojans at a score of 1-2-0.
Congratulations to Princess Anne Panthers. They move on to the City Champ game on Thursday, November 4th.
That means the Princess Anne Panthers will move on to the City Championship game this Thursday. Not this Thursday, actually. Following Thursday. Never mind, that City Championship game is November 4th. I didn't know, sorry. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us here today. Final score, 1 Princess Anne Panthers, 0 Plaza Trojans. My name is Jacob Zidell. We will be right back here with you for the second game. Thanks for supporting and watching our live stream. And we will see you next time.
For more than 23 years, we've made it our mission to lend peace of mind.
Even when times aren't very peaceful.
We know that every borrower is unique.
That's why we put you first in every step of the loan process.
At Atlantic Bay, we are dedicated, now more than ever,
to providing digital tools, resources, and a lending hand.
To help you reach your home dreams.
Because we're here for you.
Whenever,
Wherever,
however.